Come on.
My name is Abina Johnson, and this is Focus on Liberia. Hit it! From Cape Mount to Cape Palmas, Mount Nimba to Atlantic Ocean, Obomi Hills to Bokonjre, to educate, elevate, and promote. Yeah, focus on Liberia, for Liberia, Liberia, for Liberia, yeah, 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 yeah. From Monday to Sunday, from Monday to Sunday, it's focus on Liberia. Talk about home affairs, hey, in diaspora, current affairs, hey, reliable information, history, ooh, talking about culture, yeah, politics, education, entertainment, yeah, business, sports, advertisement, articulation. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. From Monday to Sunday. Focus on.
Happy 26, everybody.
Happy
26.
26. 26 on you.
Happy 26 to everybody, to the people in the diaspora, to the Liberians in Liberia. Happy 26. You guys want to send happy 26 greetings to anybody special before we start?
Happy 26 to all the children in Liberia, Bapaloo County, especially in Montserrat. And 26 on all of you.
Emmanuel?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, happy 26th, Mama Liberia. I hope that this 26th will be a defining moment for our country, for our young people, for our elders in the diaspora community.
Okay.
Slutty?
Yes, I just want to say happy 26th, 170th birthday to Mama Liberia. We love you so much. Shout out to our youth. We have greater days ahead. We are vision-led country, sovereign nation, and may God bless this great nation of Mama Liberia and its people.
Koto?
Say happy 26 to all of you in Liberia. We are live also on Kia Radio 95.9. We want to say happy 26 to all the people, my people in Keba, in Nuku Town, all the way in Dodoken, in Fisibu, in Wiala. All of you, happy 26, and God bless.
Thank you. Happy 26, Dennis. Koto?
Yeah, happy 26, my Liberian people, wherever you are. Let's remember it's not how old we are, it's really about the love we have for the land that is called Liberia. And let's do something about that. Let's act on that love. Happy 26, everybody.
And Jimmy?
Happy 26 to all my fellow Liberians. But today, as we eat the palm butter and we dress in our nice clothes, let's reflect. What does this independence mean? I mean, every year it comes, we dress up, but what it means? It means that we're carrying a torch that started 178 years ago. A meaning for Liberia, being a beacon of hope throughout Africa. We need to reflect what this is, and we need to exemplify and manifest this dream that we had, that we will be free and we will be a symbol of freedom for all Africans throughout the world. Happy 26th.
Okay. Happy 26. So all of you who are on, please share the show. Share the show. Those who are watching, so we can have a nice start to our 26. I know the people in Liberia, they've already almost ended, but we are starting, and we know that our co-host Dennis he has some parental duties that he will soon. So what we will do is we will start, and then we will break so Dennis can speak, and then we will continue. But before we start, we would like to read very briefly two pieces. The first one is, and I'm quoting, say, but when all learned that there was no other alternative than to answer the question, who are you? They united to give the hardy declaration that Liberia is a sovereign and independent government. We hail with feelings of delight the expiration of her non-age, and we behold the birthday of her nationality. And that was written by Reverend J.S. Payne, an oration. And then we have, of course, the historical piece. An independence referendum was held in Liberia on 27 October 1846. The result was 52% in favor of independence. 52! The declaration was written by Hilary Teach and adopted simultaneously with the first constitution of Liberia. Only 52%. So anyway, we start the program, and the way is go. Dennis, do you want to say something?
No, no.
Okay, and the way it's going to go for those of you listening, each one of our panelists and our co-hosts, because we're all in this together, will introduce someone who gave an oration, an Independence Day oration. They will read an excerpt from that person's speech, and then afterwards they will tell us if they were to write a speech, the topic, and then they will give the wish for Liberia. So we're going to start with Snotty Raquel Yidia. Yidia? Okay. Her name means God's time. She's a visionary philanthropist aspiring to shape global systems through faith, diplomacy, and what is that? Innovation. Is that innovation? Sorry. She is the global secretariat of the Federation of Global Diplomacy and a creative force behind the A Crowd, a youth-led leadership organization. She is on a mission to ignite Africa's rise through sovereign finance and youth leadership. And she's a walking vessel led by God, writing a future the world can't know. It is time for her to rise and shine. Welcome, Snotty.
Thank you so much, Miss Jackie, and greetings again to my fellow Liberians. Thank you all so much for having me here. Shout out to Liberia. Happy Independence Day, all my people. Super excited to be here. And I know that Liberia's on the rise again. They said history repeats itself. In the good way, Liberia will surely rise, and it's a new dawn and it's a new day. So, my excerpt I'll be reading for Romeo Alexander Horton. And I'm going to share with you all who Romeo Horton was. A very prominent name, if that rings a bell, in Liberian history. He was born in 1923. He lived to 2005. He was a Liberian economist, banker, and civil servant. Horton conceived the idea of the African Development Bank, as you all know, and was one of the founders of the bank. He briefly served as the president of the Liberian National Airlines. As a civil servant, he served as an economic advisor to William Tubman and then served as the Secretary of Commerce of Industry and Labor. He was the chairman of the Liberian Election Support Group and the managing director, excuse me, and managing director of the Economic Community of the West African States. So I'm going to be following that with the excerpt. And this excerpt is actually from his July 26, 2000 Independence Day oration. It was titled Liberia at Y2K. He was an absolute visionary. And it reads, at times, our leaders have to retreat as all generals find it wise to do in certain circumstances. At times, our leaders had to bite their tongue or lip and stoop to conquer, but conquer they did. Because the ultimate goal and the objective, the commitment was always the same, high and strong forever. The nation, the people, our freedom and survival and the final analysis are all that matters. Liberia's Lone Star risked a new initiative in the interest of freedom, self-determination, and independence. Liberia became actively engaged in the independent struggle of African states because it was our duty and our responsibility. Because of our dedication and commitment to human dignity and self-determination under the principles of democracy, because that was expected of the Lone Star, because we believe that is one of the reasons why the God of the universe planted this nation called Liberia in Africa in 1847 and kept the Lone Star floating and waving over land and sea. Because we had not reached out to help our brothers and sisters in their resolute struggle for freedom and independence, we did not deserve to be called Liberia, the land of liberty.
Some technical difficulty right there from Snoddy. And
Yeah, I think she's on the phone and she received a
yeah,
call
so
as well.
we're gonna Jackie, we're gonna move to the next.
Or she could read with just this the
Your
audio.
phone messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
Okay.
can you read with just the audio?
you continue reading?
Sorry, y'all.
No,
Having
Just
can you
read. Just keep
technical
reading.
difficulties.
can
Just
you
keep
Can
just
y'all
reading.
hear
continue
me?
reading? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Could you continue reading?
Yeah, sorry about that. My apologies.
That's okay.
We did not deserve to be dependent at all. I have a vision, he says, that soon all Liberians at home and abroad will turn to helping and supporting one another instead of turning on and against each other. I have a vision that we will study war no more, but instead engage and absorb ourselves in nation building through production, trade, savings, and investments. I have a vision that the relationship among all sister African countries will strengthen into a powerful, productive union. I have a vision because where there is no vision, the people perish. And those are the last words from Romeo Horton. So, my oration title, as he ends those last words of his excerpt, if I had an oration for Liberia's 178th Independence Day and birthday, I think that oration would echo the sentiments of the past, embody the past, and appreciate her past, but look forward to a brighter future. And my oration title would be A Nation Reimagined 178 Years to Destiny. It's an allude and a toast to the younger generation, and it speaks and holds weight to our future generation and our younger generation for all to come. And while giving thanks and appreciation and gratitude for our ancestors and the generations behind us. And lastly, my wish for Liberia. It's a little bit lengthy, but bear with me. May our nation rise with a new generation of courageous, competent young leaders who govern with wisdom, integrity, and the fear of God. Let this be the dawn of a youth led governance where innovation meets tradition and dreams are written into law, where daughters and sons of the soil return, rebuild, and reignite legacy. That's us, diaspora people. Our ancestors envision bold, sovereign, and whole. Happy Independence Day, Mama Liberia. Your children are ready to lead. And I land with that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're very, very, very glad to listen to the words of Romeo Horton and hope that a lot of people are listening and taking his words to heart. So, um, the next person we're going to hear from is our own another young person, Emmanuel Chie. Emmanuel is a data scientist and an AI enthusiast with a strong academic foundation in physics and public health data science. Having earned his MPH from the University of Minnesota and a BA from Wells College, Emmanuel channels his analytical mindset into exploring the intersection of healthcare, back-end development, and generative AI. He is currently building expertise in language modeling, relational databases, and cybersecurity fundamentals with an eye towards solving real-world problems. Now this is long, so I'm just going to end here. But Emmanuel is also I looked to him and the others to build Liberia. He was at Wells College, and I was very honored to meet him there. And Emmanuel will turn it over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. As I call you, Enter Jackie. Thank you. My time at Wells was great because I was able to get in contact with you. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Um, July 26th means a lot to me. It's not just about a celebration, it's about a defining moment in hope for Liberia. After 178 years of existence as an independent state, um, it pains me a lot to see where our country is right now. But I'm hopeful that this breed of young people, this generation, will china the torch that we envision for Liberia. Um, I wanted to talk on multiple orator, but one actually caught my attention, even though uh, within the Liberian space were classified as controversial. But I believe that if we just take a step back to re-evaluate the message that you gave on the 177th birth anniversary, we will understand that our country has a long way to go, and we can only make Liberia with vision. So I will be reading just a paragraph from Dr. Raptel Nijit Pali. She titled her 177th Independence Oration. The title was Radical Agenda for Reimaging Liberia. That speaks a lot to me because I believe that Liberia can only progress unless we redefine our sense of dignity and where we want to go. So the excerpt I'll be reading states dignity must define us. This should be our creed, our mission, our vision, our roadmap, our North Star, our prayer, our central unifying code, and ideal as a people. That paragraph actually spoke a lot because we claim to be unified, but when we look deeply, we are not. So if I was to give an oration message today for the 178th birth anniversary, I would title it The Blueprints of Belonging, Reimaging Liberia Through Innovation, Integrity, and Identity. Um, I'm not a politician, even though I'm from the youth background, but I strongly hold to the idea of innovation. And I believe that we can change the trajectory of our country if we model after the idea of Japan. When Japan was hit with the nuclear bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan went to complete the innovation. And today, Japan is one of the best countries in the world. I believe that Liberia can re-image herself through innovation. So bear with me. My wish for Liberia is a little bit long, but I hope that
If you
everyone
can make it
understands.
brief as possible, that
Yeah,
would be
it'll be brief.
yeah.
Yeah, but everyone understand where um I'm coming from. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so Independence Day message by the manual. Good morning, Liberia. On this 178th anniversary of our nation's independence, I speak not just in celebration, but in conviction. I envision a Liberia where innovation meets identity, a Liberia where our youth learn not only history, but how to code it, how to build systems that heal, include, and uplift. From Monrovia to Maryland County, from Gunter to Grand Passer, may every young Liberian see themselves as architects of progress. Let our health system harness both compassion and data. Let our classroom run on curiosity and courage. Let the sign of generators be replaced by renewable power and the echo of dreams by action. Diaspora brothers and sisters, we have more than roots. We have responsibility. May we reinvest our skills, our vision, and our stories to rebuild the promise of Liberia. To our elders, thank you for holding the line. To our leaders, may you lead with integrity and foresight. And to our youth, raise with purpose. You are not just the future, you are the present and the power. Happy Independence Day, Mama Liberia. May your flame never dim, and may your next chapter be written by bold minds and tender hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah. So thank you for that. Do you want to read the other one, or no?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, okay. So we had Alexander Cromwell excerpt. Okay, so the next person is Cotto Reeves. Cotto, oh, thank you. Cotto Reeves Williams is a Liberian feminist and development expert. A 2021 Yale World Fellow, she authored Beyond Mass Action and Inappropriate Medley, exploring women's organizing and feminist themes. Cotto challenges patriarchy and advances intersectional feminism through activism, writing, and leadership in social justice movements. Cotto, welcome.
Thank you, Jackie. And today I have the task of, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. Today I have the task of reading an excerpt from Edward Wilmot Blyden. I'm going to introduce him and then I'll read the excerpt. Uh, Edmund with Edmund Wilmot Blyden, widely known as the father of Pan-Africanism, was born on August 3rd, 1832, in St. Thomas, in what are now the U.S. Virgin Islands. Drawing on both scripture and science, Blyden challenged the arguments about Black inferiority that were increasingly popular in Europe and North America during this period. Blyden was Liberia's Secretary of State and Professor of Classics at Liberia College. From these posts, he called for the emigration of skilled and intelligent Black West Indians and African Americans to Liberia. Blyden ran for president in, I guess it's 1855. I'm not sure, or 1955. There's
1855.
one, yeah,
Sorry.
number missing. Yes.
Okay.
After his defeat, he went into self-imposed exile in neighboring Sierra Leone and died there on February 7th, 1912. This is the excerpt. It is entitled Liberia as a Means, Not an End. What we want in Liberia is free discussion, untrammeled liberty of opinion, with the self-evident principle that what cannot outlive this free discussion is worthy to die. And we are fast acquiring this liberty. The minds of the people are being set to work. They now think, talk, and demur and object, and modify and approve and condemn and reject. Things are brought to the sun and tried in various lights. and we are getting more and more to see the great truth which I beg to announce as a subject of consideration today, that Liberia is a means, not an end. The future is now before us, measurably in our own hands, and its character will depend on the way we now act. If we act a judicious and patriotic act with hearts wide enough to embrace all mankind, the most happy effects will be felt in all the desolate regions. Each one of us has a part to perform in this work, and our individual influence will tell in this great cause. The present generation of men will leave its character as an impress on our national character unto all generations. There are evidently better days ahead, and we have the advantage in some respects of those who have gone before. We may ascend to platform to a platform far higher than our predecessors occupied in the dim past. The accumulation of knowledge and stories of experience are our heritage. It is the morning that cometh with Africa, not the night. The horizon is quivering even now with a glorious light. The sun is rising higher and higher. There is a fount about to stream. There is a light about to beam. There is warmth about to flow. There is a flower about to bloom. There is midnight. There is a midnight blackness changing into gray. Men of thought and men of action clear the way. Aid the dawning tongue and pen. Aid its hopes of honest men. Aid it paper, aid it type. And our earnest must not slacken into play. Men of thought and men of action clear the way. So that is Blyden. Um, so I start with my wish. My wish. Okay, no, I start with my speech. If I had to do a speech for 26 Independence Day, I would it would be named from 1822 and before, a justice agenda. And this is important in my understanding and the consciousness, the political consciousness I have of Liberia, because I think we truncate our history in a way that does not support our progress. And it's really important to tell our story like this to be able to establish inclusiveness and a respect for all Liberians, whether they're in Liberia, whether they came, after 1822 or before. I think it's really important for us to set ourselves as one people and sort of prioritize, a justice agenda. And I believe that that will help Liberia to grow. That is a key dimension of nation building. What is my wish for Liberia? I wish for a Liberia where our accountability to country is grounded in truth and justice. An inclusive society where hierarchies are dismantled and our story is told with integrity, representing all settlers' stories that preceded 1822. A Liberia where nation building is holistic and political, honoring the rights of women, young people, our people in transit across the world, and I'm referring to people in the diaspora. The reason I say in transit, because I believe that we're all coming home to Liberia one day. Even if it's not you, it's a generation of your family that will come back to this Liberia that we love so much. And communities long unheard. A country deeply connected to the ecosystem of decolonization and the Pan-African politics of possibilities, where we flourish on common ground and not colonial instructions, where agency is restored and justice, peace, and healing is a collective non-negotiable. That is my wish for Liberia. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Carter. Thank you so much. And now we go to our own CEO, Dennis, who is going to be midway through the program because Dennis is going to give some comments before we continue. Dennis?
We can go. We can go one more before I get there because I'm enjoying it.
Oh, you're not ready now.
No, I'm ready. I can go if you want.
Okay. Well, if you can't go, we can continue. I just thought you wanted to flex your muscles and say I want to do so. Okay. So we'll go now to Jimmy Eastman. Um, and I'm trying to get Jimmy's bio because I would really like to properly introduce everybody that's on this panel. Jimmy did send it to me, so um, Jimmy, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. Okay, so let's skip Jimmy for 1 minute and go to Anastasia. So
Okay.
Anastasia, are you ready? I'm gonna introduce you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I can do it.
Anastasia Simmons Capehart is a passionate advocate for culturally responsive teaching and is dedicated to creating inclusive, high quality learning environments where every child can thrive. A veteran early childhood educator, Anastasia brings extensive experience working with teachers, children, and families across public, private, and parochial schools in both urban and rural communities in the United States and Liberia. She is the founder and executive director of the Teacher Consultant Group Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that provides educational consultation services with a focus on early childhood development. So, Anastasia, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I'm very grateful to be here today to share excerpts from Dr. Nan's oration, his 2016 oration. And I'm also grateful to be a part of Liberia's 178th Independence Day celebration. This is a time that we reflect, we look back to where we came from, where we are, and where we want to go. So now I will introduce Dr. Dube Christian's bio, and after the bio, I will read an excerpt from his July 26, 2016 oration. Dr. Chris Yan is a Liberian medical doctor, a biomedical research scientist, social activist, and inventor. He specializes in infectious disease research. On July 26, 2016, Dr. Dube Chris Yan received the Humane Order of African Redemption from Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and in July 2017, he received Innovation Prize for Africa for Social Impact. Now the excerpt from his oration. To me, it seems that we have lost sight of the fundamental principles upon which Liberia was founded in the early 1800s. Those principles that are anchored on Pan Africanism, liberty, equality, social justice, and democracy. In contemporary times, it appears that we have forgotten our responsibilities to our founding fathers as to how to steer the country on those founding principles for a better Liberia, correcting their mistakes and building on their progress by advancing to a refined participatory democracy for a prosperous society and nation. Liberia, a vibrant nation once seen as the light of Africa and the rest of the oppressed world, now appears to be relegated to the obscure pages of history and the global theater of political comedy. Today, just as in the past, discrimination, corruption, bad governance, chaos, mediocrity, and political patronage continue to pervade and haunt our governance system. These are hurdles to our progress as a people and nation. At this juncture, as we commemorate our existence as a sovereign nation, we must be very critical of ourselves, both individually and collectively as a nation. We must act with bold and sincere steps to arrest the current ills of our political, economic, and social situations. We must evoke that giant patriotism in us, that lion pan Africanism. We must rescue Liberia. We must fix Liberia. We must build a Liberia not just for settlers, resettlers, or natives, but a Liberia with liberty, justice, and prosperity for all. Let us never forget that the love of liberty brought all of us here to this area of land that is called Liberia today. Do not despair, for a better Liberia is on the verge of rebirth. And on that note, that a better Liberia is on the verge of rebirth, my 178th message to the Liberian people is 21st century education, a right and the way forward for Liberia. As an educator, that's my main concern with Liberia right now, is the right to quality education for all children. So today, as we honor 178 years of our nation's independence, my heart is filled with hope and determination for the future of Liberia. I wish for 21st century schools and classrooms, inviting, engaging spaces where children can explore, create, and learn without fear. Environments that spark curiosity and empower young minds to dream beyond limitations. I wish for dedicated teachers, educators who are not only committed to their students' learning, but also grow as members of vibrant, professional learning communities, constantly refining their craft for the benefit of every child. I wish for a Ministry of Education that sees and serves all schools, whether they are neighborhood makeshift classrooms, international institutions, private, parochial, or public. A ministry that upholds the right to civic and quality education for every child. I wish for schools that welcome parents and communities, not intimidate them, schools that build bridges, not walls. And above all, I wish for a government fully committed to 21st century learning, reaching every county, district, and village with innovation, equity, and opportunity. Happy Independence Day. May our future be as bright as our dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome, Elvin. Welcome from Liberia. Elvin is one of our young people from Liberia, so we are happy to have you here. We'll
Thank you
move
so much.
on now. Okay. Yes. Sorry, Elvin. How's your 26 there? Are you enjoying your 26? I think there's a lag. Okay. So Dennis, are
Yeah,
you now ready to speak before we
yeah,
continue? Okay,
yeah.
turn it over to Dennis now.
Bati, oh, Bati.
Bati,
I'm going to give a Independence Day talk, and I will talk it so that my old man in Blewilia can understand it. So again, I say Bati, oh, Bati.
Bati,
And then in crew, the one that is corrupted,
Bati.
in the crew speaking, when they say tekue, fanonyone tekue,
Tikwe,
it
Cool.
means the scary man cannot create the dead. So when I say tekue, fanonyone tekue, I want to hear you say tekue, fanonyone tekue.
Tikwe,
Cool. Take cool.
All right. Today we come here to celebrate our country birthday. It's been almost 200 years since we moved from under other people rule and their control and started standing on our own. It was not easy, but we did it. The dream our people had that time to start the country, you know, they got people, black people who their father, their parents, they were slaves before. There were other people in other places. There were people that were all already in chains. They were carrying as slaves. All the people they put them in the ship from America and other places, and the people they met here, they all suffer to start this country. When we look back, we say thank you because it was not easy to do it. So, but we want to be brave to talk about everything. We can't eat crab with shame. We will talk about everything. Plenty of things happen in our past, both good and bad. It was tough setting up to say we free. It was not easy. The colonial powers, the big countries that were around, all of them wanted to be stealing our land small. As if we not suffer plenty, then we started fighting, killing president, war, all the different things happened. But thank God, the whole country didn't burn. We are still here. Today, everywhere you look, we see the damage and all the things the war spoiled. It spoiled our beautiful country. The road bad, people stealing money, they eating, their stomach can get full. Small boys and girls, they own quota, they own opium. While everything happening, we know that the reason the people started the country, that hope, it was for all of us to be here, be free, and we enjoy. But my people, if you mind all the bad things that happened before, we will not go nowhere. We have to get hope. Hope. And you have to give our people hope, whether you're in the Pelham building, or you're in Nuclear Town, or you're in the gold mine in Bokongere. We want to give everybody hope. You're in the diamond mine in Lofa. Everybody must have hope, and we must swear that we're going to do certain things to make our country go forward. Because that hope started the country, and we will continue with the hope and the promise. The first thing we must do, we must all come together. We must join together, because when we join together, we can do big things. Teeth and tongue, they can fight. That's why sometimes you see the teeth bite the tongue. But when they're ready to eat, the tongue will not say, oh no, the people boom for me. Oh no. They cross for me. They all work together. So we must all come together. We planted in Liberia. Some people know books, some people don't know books. Some people live in the city, some people live in the country. Some people get their mind power in America, some people don't get nobody. Some people, they're from Pele country, some people from Loma country, some people from Gio country, some people from Crew country. We are different, but it make us fine, because different people, when we bring all the different things together, it can make all work. Let's say when you carry cool on somebody's farm to scratch farm, some people know how to scratch farm more than the other people. Some people will be beating the drum so that people will work hard. Some people will be singing. Some people going for water. Some people will just sit down and advise. All of that make the farm work to go good. and they work very hard. So that the same thing we want to do. We must come together as one country, even though we're different, but we can all come together and work together to achieve, to get one thing. The second thing we want to do is we want to do the right thing. We want to treat everybody the same and stop stealing and spoiling. Because the thing that for everybody, when you steal it, how the other people will eat. So if we don't stop stealing, we can't go anywhere. We must start taking shortcut. They say that the place where you want to go, then you pass behind the other person. You want to take shortcut. We can do that one and go anywhere. Each of us, we want to do our own part. Don't wait to be big man or big woman before you do the right thing. When you're in your small village, you do what is right. When you're in the big city, you do what is right. When you're in your small bungalow, do what is right. When you're in your mansion, you do the right thing. That one will help us. It's not all school business, that serious thing. Because the people that build the tall building, that build the bridges, that school they go to. The people that can make car, that school they go to. So we must not take school business to be play. School business is serious. We must all be serious like dog killer to do the thing. Because if we don't face it, who will face it for us? We got to do it. And all the things I'm talking here, we used to do it before, long way back. We used to sell rest to people. People used to come to Liberia to buy. That time when I even called Liberia, people used to come to buy from us. They please give me, we're doing today. We never used to do it. If you think I'm lying, ask Dr. Don, ask Jackie, ask Call Family, ask Dr. Borrow, ask Dr. Brewer. They will all tell you. We want Sweaty, we work hard to make our country what we want it to be. But when the child on the mother back and the child don't want to walk, the child can look and just say, yeah, the ground nasty and not getting down. But if we all say we come and get down to work, we'll do it. My people, let's do something. The other Miata family will say, do something. Independent Day, and I just mentor. It's not time for just eating, dancing, and we put on fine clothes. From today, we want all the Madigo Mac and say, Walai, I swear. We must swear to do the right thing. We must promise everybody that when there's something small, we must do it. The reason our people build a country was for us to be here and enjoy. If you in all the way, fireplace, and you black person and you suffering, we say come to Liberia. When you somewhere you don't get food to eat, we say come to Liberia. When you on the other side and the people beating you, we say come to Liberia. Because when you come here, everything will be all right. We must still remember that thing. Our people fought for this land to be built. So the same way, my old man Patricia Jabe Wesley, before she started reading her poem, she can say, Popo Wulio. We must all shout that battle cry and say, Popo Wuli. We can do it. Because the time the French people from Africa, they try to take our land, we fought them. The French people, when they come from Guinea, they try to take Lofa, we fight them. When the British people were from Sierra Leone, way there, they try to take Cape Man, they try to take that one. Our people use spear, they use cutlass, anything that get in their hand, they use it to chase the people. You want to tell me that now we can do it? We're strong. So today, before we leave from here, let's remember one thing. That today, starting today, things will change. We will do our part. Let us live here today with a renewed sense of purpose. Let the farmer in Bond County, the teacher in Grand Baza, the nurse in Nimba, the entrepreneur in Margibi, the magistrate in Grand Cru, and the civil servant in Masurado say, I will play my part. Liberia's brightest days are ahead of us. Let us march towards them with courage in our hearts and the words of our nation anthem on our lips. In union strong, success is sure, which overall prevail. Happy Independence Day. My 26 on your. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. Thank you. So I think Elvin is Elvin stay there. Yes, Elvin is here. We and because I know Elvin is going to enjoy 26, we'll make Elvin the next person. So I will introduce Elvin. Elvin Banra is passionate about biology and chemistry. He's a biology and chemistry graduate, advocate, and emerging researcher with a strong commitment to scientific development, social equity, and evidence-based solution. So he and Emmanuel, they are on this health track. He has a bachelor's degree in biology from the Adventist University of West Africa, where he has cultivated a deep interest in environmental health, biochemistry, and interdisciplinary research. Throughout his academic journey, he has combined his passion for science with his dedication to social impact. And I want to say kudos to Elvin because regardless of the fact that he's in Liberia, Elvin does not stop in always presenting research at the Liberian Studies Association. This year, he talked about, I think, hygiene. Anastasia was there also, and Gabriel and Dennis. So, Elvin, we want to say welcome, and you know how it goes. You will introduce the person, read the excerpt, but then we also want to know what is your wish for Liberia.
Okay, thank you so much. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I will be giving an excerpt on Dr. Garrison W. Gibson Jr. He served as the oration speaker back in 1927. So Dr. Garrison W. Gibson Jr. served as former Secretary of Public Instruction, now Ministry of Education, and Rector of the Trinity Episcopal Church. His father served as President of Liberia from December 100 to January 4th, 1904. So these are the excerpt, or here is the excerpt from his oration that he titled Nationality, Autonomy, and Self-Determination. So he said the Republic of Liberia then has its foundation laid in righteousness and truth. It is no wonder then that the Republic has survived through all which it has passed, and this country has passed through dangers and innumerable difficulties. Too often we have also lost people for its perpetuity and maintenance. Time after time in our history, dark clouds have obscured our sky. Storm after storm has risen darkly over our way. Wave after wave have rolled over our heads, and yet for all that we have survived, maintained our independence, kept intact our autonomy, and today, on our 18th birthday, we are still a free and independent republic. So it was and is a work, this work of nation building. There was first the period of foundation laying. It does not matter how wisely the economy or the economic activities of the people may be controlled by government, however sound and rational their economic, political, and social institution may be, very much depends upon the quality of the people themselves. So, in fact, all these agencies in a democratic country as ours will be determined by the quality of the people. When a people have chosen democracy for their government, they must depend solely upon themselves, their powers of initiative and energy to carry forward that which they have initiated. This naturally turns our thoughts towards that which will elevate a people in a high quality, that is education. The schools then where the young ideas is taught to shoot must be one of the greatest care of the state. When our people become educated with their mentality more highly developed, they will then be in a position to become more highly developed, to think better, and to distinguish between things that differ, to approve things that are excellent, and less inclined to follow every stormy wind that blows and be carried away by every wind and tide. So let us then be up and doing with a mind to build our state, still achieving, still pursuing. So these are excerpts from Dr. Garrison W. Gibson oration speech. He served as the orator for the Independence Day back in 1927 or July 26, 1927. So now, as a pride for me, my wish for Liberia, coming from a science background, let me just give my wish. I envision a Liberia where science is not just studied in classroom, but applied in our communities to solve everyday problems. Yeah, we have been learning in a very abstract way. So my vision is science should evolve from a more abstract planning to a more practical and problem solving way. So environmentally, I dream of a greener Liberia where our forests are protected, our rivers run clean, and our cities are built with nature in mind. Because currently we have a city that wasn't built with nature in mind, where our forests are protected and our rivers are clean and our cities are built with nature in mind. Yeah. A Liberia where waste management sustainability, where plastic pollution and is a thing of the past, and climate resilience is a national priority. Yeah, we have a country where we have been, should I say, embarrassed with a lot of climate incidents. Yeah, we are having or experiencing flooding in some communities. So I'm envisioning a nation where these problems will be solved. Yeah, and I also wish for a prosperous and a Liberia where the rights and privilege of every citizen will be respected as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Elvin. Thank you so much. You, Emmanuel, and Snotty need to get together as young people to discuss issues in Liberia. I will share the your emails, because you, Emmanuel, is doing more science stuff. But you guys need to get together. The young people are the future. So thank you so much. I know that it's difficult while you're in Liberia trying to enjoy yourself. We're asking you to come on, but thank you so much, Elvin. And feel free to stay if you want and listen to the others. Dennis is
Yeah,
gone.
I'm
Okay, so we're
following.
gonna try. Okay. So our next person will be Jimmy Eastman, and I'm gonna read Jimmy's. Let me see if I can. Uh, Jimmy is. I don't know how to. Dennis is not here. Do we know how to focus on you? You're the guru. Do we know how to do that?
Um,
The three
y-
dots,
yeah, I guess. Let me see.
There are no three dots over
below
here.
that,
Let me see. Let me see if I can move that over. Okay, right now, where do you do like this?
edit name and headline, edit avatar.
Yeah, sorry, Elvin. Dennis is. I think he stepped out for a minute, and Dennis is the. Aha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But can we see the others?
Okay, let me try to do that.
Okay. Okay. Let's see the others as well, so we can. Yes, you are the guru for this. Aha. Okay.
But I don't know
But
why it went back to him. I'm trying to move that. Let me see if I
Spotlight.
can. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can move that. Okay.
and then you shine. It's your time to shine.
I try to change it. Okay,
Okay.
There you
Well.
go.
got it.
If
Okay.
not, you can just leave it as it is.
Yeah,
But I
Okay.
think there's a yeah. Uh, it
yeah.
should
Yeah.
be at the bottom there. Sorry, I didn't bring my glasses, so I can't help right
Okay.
now.
Yeah. It's.
Can I do this? No. Okay.
You have to remove from stage. But I don't know how to do that. So okay. So Jimmy Eastman, by God's grace, was given the opportunity from an early age to
Yeah, I don't have
travel and see the world through diplomatic lens. This exposure opened doors to scholarships at renowned institutions and shaped his global outlook. He has built a career in the technology sector, holding various positions across disciplines, and has been privileged to share his knowledge and skills through vocational education and training. So, Jimmy, is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. And again, happy Independence Day to all. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Mr. Plenyono B. Wollo. He was the first African. from Africa now, to graduate from Harvard University in 1914. Mr. Wolo served as the principal of a Methodist school in Grances and then a professor at Liberia College. He was admitted to the Liberian Bar of the Supreme Court and was secretary of the League of Nations Commission of Inquiry. Here is the expert from his oration on July 26, 1929. We are a small nation in one sense. In another sense, we are infinitely large. There is a solidarity of interest which links us to the rest of the human race. And it is not so much a matter of choice whether or not we will be affected by the evidence of the manifold inner strivings and the 10,000 visible activities of the peoples. Their educational movements, industrial enterprises, commercial undertaking, and sociological problems, their moral struggles, and their psychological pains and pleasures, their intellectual attack and solution of intricate questions. All these are Liberian problems and legacies and are with us always. As a member of the family of nations, we cannot escape our share of the burden, of the pain, patience, determination, and goodwill required to bring about understanding and mutual respect. We Liberians have ambition, or else we will not be where we are. This ambition demands that for which it has been incited, goes after it and urges us to do work for it. Our contribution to the international bouquet began in July 26, 1847. We have contributed and are still contributing and will continue to do so as long as there is an independent Liberia and so long as the stars and stripes wave over the executive mansion. Certainly, the mere fact that we have maintained the government and kept unsullied the integrity and sovereignty of Liberia for these 82 years stands out as a most indicative and convincing evidence of the contribution we are making to the international bouquet. From the time our statesmen put their hands on the international plow, we have never looked back. We have been steadily advancing. Not that we have not had our seasons of drawbacks and threatening dark clouds on the horizon, but that we have survived with the difficulties that are able to hold our heads above water, affords ground for gratification and unstinted praise on the part of all our well-wishers and friends. We will continue to contribute, and nothing human will be foreign to us in the future as it has been in the past. The inspiring assurance of Liberia of the future is the group present here today. Future Liberia receives its beginning from these younger men and women, older men and women who transmit the best of the fund of human experience to be continued and improved by posterity. And when we have come to the realization of our international greatness, have accepted the challenges, there is no other road to achievement of national moral character except by way of persistent cooperative effort. And when we have come to this conception of our national goal and destiny, which please God we may never reach, shall we sing with freedom and understanding, long live Liberia, happy land. That is the excerpt from 1929. And what I'm going to do now, in the same vein, I plan to read to you what I would have Um, what I would have said today in the same vein. It's a poetic message in the same vein as the previous. Fellow Liberians, distinguished gentlemen and ladies, and welcome to our one more Independence Day celebration. Today, time pauses and history breathes. On this sacred day, 178 years since the stars of freedom were stitched into the sky of our republic, we gather not simply to commemorate a date, but to rekindle a flame that first lit in defiance of tyranny and kept alive through storms and struggle, sacrifice and grace. In 1847, as the continent trembled under the boots of empire and chains still clanged against across nations, Liberia stood bold, battered, and beautiful as Africa's lone republic, a sovereign sanctuary proclaiming to the world, we are free and we shall remain free. But let us speak the whole truth, not the half that flatters. The nation was not willed into being by one voice alone. Independence was not declared merely by ink or parchment. It rose from the soil, tilled by many hands, spoken into being by many tongues, and suffered into reality by the collective will of both settler and indigenous men and women. Before ships ever touched our shores, there were peoples here, proud, rooted, and wise, who walked these forests, fished these rivers, and honored this land with blood and ritual. When the settlers came carrying with them dreams of liberty and echoes of bondage, they did not build this nation in a vacuum. They built it through fragile truces, wary alliances, and cultural collisions. At moments, resistance met with understanding. Our republic was born not of dominance, but of delicate consensus, not from conquest, but from weary yet willing handshake between strangers who became neighbors and eventually one people. Let us not forget that the first century of Liberia's life was one of existential peril. While the world around us bowed beneath colonial banners, Liberia stood alone, a solitary flame against a dark horizon. We endured diplomatic isolation, economic struggle, and the burden of building a nation from fractured worlds. And yet, we endured because Liberians, in all their diversity, chose survival over surrender and hope over despair. So, as we raise our voices in song and celebration, let us also bow our heads in reverence for those who penned the Declaration of Independence and those who met it with guarded eyes but with steady hands, for those who built Monrovia streets and those who kept the forest paths alive and wisdom and lore. Let us finally tell the whole story that Liberia was not given, it was forged, and it was forged together. And now, as we stand in the long shadow of our founding, may we remember Liberia belongs to no single tribe, no single legacy, no single lineage. She is the shared inheritance of all her children. Her future demands our unity. Her healing requires our honesty. Her greatness calls for a new covenant, one that lifts every Liberian in every village, town, and city into the promise of her full belonging. So today, we do not just celebrate 170 years of independence, we pledge to fulfill it. We pledge to rise together, Liberians from every village and hamlet, young and old, woman and man, united not by sameness, but by shared destiny. Happy Independence Day, Liberia. Long live the Republic. Long live Liberian people. One nation, one soul, one enduring dream. I leave it right
Thank you.
there.
Thank you. Thank you. So, last but not least, we have Gabriel Carter. Gabriel Carter is a global banking expert and vice president, senior portfolio manager with over 10 years of results oriented approach to optimizing financial performance for a $1.5 billion portfolio with investments in key geographic locations across the world. He specializes in optimizing investment strategies, mitigating risk, and delivering consistent returns in dynamic market environments with proven expertise in strategic portfolio management, macroeconomic policy, risk assessment, and client relationship building. Gabriel holds a Bachelor of Science in Finance from Cambridge College and a Master's of Science in Finance from Brandeis University International Business School. So, Gabriel, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. That's quite of an introduction. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with the rest of the esteemed panelists, and an opportunity to share uh, the stage with all of you. Um, Similar to everyone, I'm going to read an excerpt from Dr. Outwood Dunn oration in 2012 titled Renewing Our National Promise. But before that, I will give an introduction and then followed by the reading. So, Dr. Wood, Dr. Dunn is the Alfred Walter Negley Professor of Political Science Emeritus at the University of the South. He earned his BA from Cottington College and Divinity School, and his master's and PhD from the American University. He has taught at the Seton Hall University, Fordham University, Lincoln Center, Cottington University, and the University of Liberia. He served in the government of his native Liberia from 1974 to 1980, becoming Minister of State of Presidential Affairs, Chief of Staff in the late President Todman's office. As a scholar, Dr. Dunn authored and co-authored and even edited several books and articles. He was editor of the Liberian Study Journal, which Professor Jackie is a part of, from 1985 to 1995. All right, so let's. I'm going to read his speech, as I mentioned earlier, renewing our national promise, um, which was given in 2012 on Independence Day. Hopefully, I can do it justice here because I think this is a very powerful speech. Um, so, in the beginning was the promise. The promise, the promise took the form of an ideal left to be perfected by succeeding generation, left to be nurtured by succeeding generation, left to be rendered increasingly more meaningful, more relevant to the changing needs of a continuously changing Liberia population. Like the founders of states everywhere, no promise remains static. A more perfect country remains ours to build today, as it was for those of yesteryears and will be for those tomorrow. The question before us then is how we might employ the instrument of cultural learning, education, and broadly conceived to craft a strategy to take us from identification as cultural freaks to recognize cultural integrity, from being like bats, not knowing whether we are beasts or birds, to a greater clarity about what we have become as consequence of our exposure to the outside world. The intangible dimension of the issues, the value, the value dimension without which we have navigate, we navigate without a compass. National value deficit, not budget deficit, not electric power deficit. Empathy, solidarity, trust, justice, honesty, sincerity, mutual goodwill, social responsibility, mutual respect, a sense of common identity, accountability, innovation, and tolerance. Without, without a measure of moral commitment to Liberia, indeed moral investment, we risk everything: our national, our traditional security, our human security, and the sustainability of the material reconstruction on which we are today embarked with near religious zeals. If we remain a society of gross inequality, of our social alienation, of distrust, we, the we, remain weak and we will collapse when faced with the inevitable moment of national stress. He said, lastly, he said, let us then, one and for all, solemnly resolve in this place at the time, at this time, to relaunch our country, to renew our country's promise, to build a stronger Liberia, not alone of bricks and mortar, but fundamentally of values, to build a country inclusive of all experiences. Thank you. Now, I don't think I have a wish for the country. I think all of you who have spoken before me have, said, pretty much what I believe any one of us here would like to, see for this great nation of ours. Um, but if I may say a few words, as somebody coming from a finance and economic background and having traveled the country and seen it in length and breadth, my wish for Liberia will be very simple and very short. Uh, Jimmy has rightly talked about the struggle we've had, and I think some of you may have alluded to some of that as well. Um, One thing that remain today, and I think all of us seek and wish that this will become a reality. And even if we don't live in our country, we will feel some kind of happiness and excitement that we have achieved to that level, is basically the ability for every Liberian to be able to self actualize. I've said this on many occasions before. The common denominator between you and I here, every one of us seated on here, is the ability to provide for ourselves, our family, to thrive, to contribute to society in whichever way we can, right? And this is what I wish for Liberia. A country, a country where every citizen, regardless of your, upbringing, if you can contribute, if you can work hard, that you can be the best version of yourself. Not only that, to take care of your family, but to contribute to the society, the country that we look up to. That reality is not true today for every Liberian. If you travel to Liberia, which all of you have, and I'm sure at some point, this is something that I normally do. I don't take cars to go places. I walk in the very community that I stay. The moment you leave your house, the realization hits you that the lifestyle that I have isn't the same for my next door neighbor, isn't the same for the people right in my community. Now, let's say if you even go to Central Moravia, you see everybody bustling and hustling. So, my wish for this country is and will remain that every Liberian born in our country claims to be Liberian can amount to the place where they can self actualize. Self actualization meaning you can take care of yourself. This is the basic common denominator. You can take care of yourself, you can take care of your family, and if you do very well, you can take care of your generation for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 generations. If we can build an inclusive economy to that level, where not just the education, we become the capital of the education on the continent, a tourist hub, an economic hub of technology, that would be the dream that I wish for Liberia. Thank you, and thank you all for having me on here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabriel, and thanks to every one of you who came to read the various orations and to tell us about your wish for Liberia. We want to say thank you. We ask those who are listening to put their wishes in the chat so that we can read it if they want to. I think we're on the air in Liberia. So, are there people who want to call in Liberia to say happy 26th? They should feel free to call in on the Kia radio show. I think that if you look at the various orations that all of you've read, the defining thread, the thread that runs through all of them, for me there are two basic ones. The first one, how we came to be. I like Mr. Eastman's phrase that Liberia was forged, and forged out of many groups. People always say, no matter how you came, we're in the same boat now. So Liberia was forged. That's a good word. So I think whether it's Gibson, it's Dr. Dunn, whether it's Mamadou Masekwe, who we did not get to read, whether it was Cromwell, whether it was Plebo Wallow,
Piley, right, right.
whatever it is, that we are one people. Sometimes I hear Liberians speaking about tribal factions or ethnicity or groups, and I think they actually believe that they're the only country that have these things. No, there are other countries that have these things. I mean, people grapple with it. But it seems as if we've brought it to the forefront. We have made it one of the things that identifies the country. Oh, which tribe? Because it seems as if the nation, the allegiance to the nation is not as strong as allegiance to the group, or that group, that county, that group of people.
Tribe,
Because
right.
so we need to work together so that when people say, where are you from? Liberia. No, where are you from? Liberia. I tell people that when I go to Zambia, the handshake, it says one people, one nation, one Zambia. And that's what we should endeavor to do. So all of these, whether it was, I mean, I'm listening to all of the excerpts, and whether it was 1890 or 1921, it's the same thing. We suffered. We did not back down. We stood, and we are here, and we are one people. Now here's the pathway to make us one people. So the discussions that people are having are not new. And that's why when Dennis asked, I said, what, let's look at all the orations from the past. Let's look at them and see the commonalities in them, to see that what people are talking about now are not issues that are new. These issues are what our forefathers have been grappling with long since. But we need now to have a pathway. We need to have a roadmap to say whether we can get Emmanuel to help us with AI to chart, or whether we can get Jimmy, who's a wizard of words, to write, to craft a policy, or Anastasia, with the education, or Gabriel with the economic policies. We need all hands on deck. We need to start building our country, whether we are outside or within Liberia. We are one people. I mean, it always makes me surprised when I see people sometimes I would say, "Oh, hello, are you from Liberia?" Yes. I'm like, why this tension? We should be able to say we are one people. We may have been forged through fire, but we've come out stronger. We've come out stronger like steel, like platinum. So I want to say thank you to all of you. I ask, I don't know if we're still being broadcast cast in Liberia, but if there are people who would like to put their wishes for Liberia, please do so. There's a comment from Actual Factual. You say, I'm a Liberian born there and spent a sliver of my formative years growing up there until my life was altered due to the first war. I spent most of my life growing up in the United States, so I can see the other portion. But the thing is that, regardless of how we got here, we need to be able to say hello, all hail Liberia, hail, long live Liberia, happy land, and we need to work together because of that. Yata says, thank you, Emmanuel. Miata says, hello, my people. Miata says, oh, you brilliant people, you should come home. So you should come home. But anyway, I want to say thank you again. David Jase, I wish Liberia sees itself as an African nation framed on the principle of justice, innovation, and equity. Yeah, and it's good that you all were here. We always say, from your lips to God's ears, And so when we think of Elijah Johnson, who told the British, we do not want your flag here. It will cost us more to take it down than to put it up. Those are history that we learned when we were little. If you look at the book Slaves No More, you see people who have suffered in the United States as slaves. When they got to Liberia, they were writing or sending messages back home to say, come to this country.
Yeah.
This is where you should be. This is where a man can be a man. This is where a woman can, as you said, self-actualize.
Yeah.
So we need to work together as a people. We need to build Liberia. Some people might not live in Liberia permanently, but make it a goal to go home every now and then, and like Anastasia is doing, like others are doing. Help to build. Contact Anastasia. Anastasia, how can I help? Do things. Emmanuel is going, but when he graduates, he's going to go. Elvin is there, looking at the health situation. So we want to say thank you to all of you. We want to say happy 26. And if the argument is, oh, we are not where we should be, we are getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody is where they should be at this point. It's always a work in progress. So we will get there. So any last remarks from any one of you before we close? So actual factual continue. He say, I'm a U.S. citizen. Until this day, I still have my Liberian passport from those formative years I previously mentioned, with signs of destruction from wear and tear and a war. So I think it goes on when I sit here on this. Yeah, I can see, but yeah, so greet each other. Even for the Liberians back home, when you see your friend, your fellow Liberian, greet him. How are you? Don't say, oh, that's a Liberian, I don't want to meet him, because for all our faults, we're still good people. So thank you very much. Thank you for staying on, and we say enjoy your 26, whether you're going to a football game, whether you guys are having dinner. Emmanuel, what are you doing for 26?
Nothing, man. I just be on computer right now.
Hey, look at you doing AI, huh?
Yeah, be on computer right now. But maybe I might go with friends. They're having like Librarian Parade today in Minnesota, so maybe I might go there.
Okay. And then one day you get
DJ Tuzon, you got any callers? DJ Tuzon, any callers?
Is he even on? Is he still in the studio?
Is he still on? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
Any callers, DJ?
He probably tuned us out.
He tuned us out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Emmanuel, one day you're gonna come on to talk about AI. Maybe that's something we need to know more of.
Yes.
But again we say thank you.
I would definitely do that.
Okay, Anastasia, any last comments?
I'm looking forward to Liberia, where our children can learn like everybody else all over the world. You
Yes.
visit the rural parts, and it just breaks your heart
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see what's going on. So
Yeah.
our goal now is to go in some of the classrooms and we redo the classrooms. I'm so sorry I had my background and I changed to this so you could see some of the things that we do with the children, with
Yeah.
the classrooms. So we're asking all Liberians, let's do it. It's not something that one person can do by himself. So now, like Emmanuel here is all into the AI and technology. Emmanuel, I may call on you because we need to have things in our classrooms in Liberia. Children can't be sitting on the floor. If they are going to sit on the floor, let there be carpets, let there be rugs on the floor where they can sit on the floor and still appreciate the environment. Children need to be able to explore the environment, manipulate, things in the objects in the environment. And we need teachers, trained teachers who are engaged in professional development, not just training, because training comes one day, it goes away. But the professional development, as we know it, it goes on and on. Every year you're doing it every quarter. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to. And Jimmy E, one thing you talk about Forge, I look forward to a conversation about the tossed salad and the melting pot. How can we look at those things in the Liberian
Context.
setting?
Yeah.
What is the melting pot? What is the tossed salad? Do I come in there? I'm a toss. Do I want to be in the tossed salad where I retain my identity? I'm a carrot, I remain a carrot. I'm a plum, I remain a plum. I'm collard greens, I remain collard greens. Or do I want to be forged where we all come together? So that's a conversation to be held because everybody has their own idea as to where we take this.
Yeah.
And then the financial man, how do we help each other? We are in the rural parts, low places that we can go to, put our little pennies together. You need your little small credit unions and everything. And in those places, when you take a few dollars, it's like they have control of everything that's in there, your little room, your TV, your radio, your everything in there. So what is it you can do for our people out there that can help them build credit? Is there some kind of credit system that you could build for our people so they are comfortable to go to that little credit union and don't feel like my life is going along with this loan?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of
Okay.
way I want you to be able to help me. So
Okay, so I will share. Sorry, before Gabriel ends, I will share your email so you guys can discuss later. But okay, Gabriel, last word.
No, I don't think I have any. I agree with everything that she's saying. It's
Okay.
basically like she talked about. It's a collective, body. You cannot do it all by yourself. Like she said, you need people like Jimmy. You need everybody on this panel here to work collectively together to. And to your point that you made earlier, where we we look at our history and then we look at where we are, and then when you ask people, they kind of give you this kind of a tense response. Even the greatest nation that we're in, they're still trying to perfect this democracy. So what more about us, right? We're still trying to perfect our democracy. There are many years, 23 years, 22 years after the war, we're still trying to perfect, right? We don't have an economy that works for everybody yet. We're still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to bring the right leaders in place who look at the country collectively, not for a selective few. So this is something we should be proud of. The fact that we're making progress is not exactly like you said where we need it to be, but we need to be looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. So
yeah.
I will leave it on that. Thank you.
Okay, we want to thank all of you, and we will turn it to the capable hands of Jimmy Eastman, who's going to, I guess, is we are all Liberians, and then Jimmy's going
Yep.
to end. Yes, so
Yep.
happy 26th, and we are
Happy
all
26th.
Liberians, and thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. Liberia.